Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video, and we're back with a new unboxing video because I received mail once again coming in from Italy from the AUT Records label, which is run by Davide Lorenzon. You know what the label is about. I've told you about the label quite a lot, and once again they use these neat little envelopes which have all the envelope sizes and things like on the back. And they've sent me a bunch of CDs, probably 3 in terms of like an estimation from weight and stuff. And well, I am a little bit hungover and all over the place today because yesterday I went out to a place I haven't been in like 20 years plus because of its location more or less within the red light district in Hamburg. And I went there to visit an old acquaintance of mine who has been working in like nightlife in St. Pauli and in Hamburg forever. Hadn't seen her in a while, and I got wind of that she started to work at that place, so I dropped by for a drink. Turned out a few more drinks and a nice conversation and stuff, and so I hadn't been drinking for a month actually. So first like whiskeys and like cocktails I had in quite a time, and well, I feel a little bit hungover, which is unusual kind of, but I guess with age comes well more suffering probably. I wasn't drunk, but a little tipsy maybe, whatever. So let's go and dive into this package from Italy. I hope you've seen the last video I done for AUT Records, and more to come, I guess. There will be another video tomorrow because I got another cassette in mind that I want to listen to and talk about, and I'm also quite busy still in sorting my CD collection and building like filters and stuff, so this is going to be quite a bit of work, but I see things coming together, and the more I go through all of those CDs from the past, I feel like memories are coming back, which is also nice, and I really go through the entire journey of me writing music reviews over the course of nearly 30 years right now, and this is quite refreshing, and I found so many albums I want to listen to again, and I need to find a way to do that because there is only so much time and so much to do, and I need to find a way to make space for more music, for more listening to music and whatnot. So we got a lot of beautiful looking CDs here, so let's dive into this one first. Released on June 12th, Giovanni Nadiello, Perspectives. This is, as usual, a press sheet. Not only done by Giovanni Nadiello, of course, but he is accompanied by 3 other musicians. He's on drums and, of course, a composer. We have Joseph Noel on piano, Stefano Zambon on double bass, and Noemi Fiorucci on vocals for a few tracks. A 9-track album, 51 minutes long, AUT Records 155. It's a trio plus guest vocalist, so trio quartet, depending on the setting, based between Italy and Belgium, exploring the delicate balance between composition and improvisation. The band leader Giovanni Nadiello has a musical journey based in both rock, jazz and improv, and also composes music that allows musicians to be actively involved in the process, like leaving them space and stuff to improvise throughout the process of recording. Has been recorded in Perugia at the Atropia studio in September of 2025, and looks like this. More of an autumnal, fall-like artwork. Kind of find it interesting that the PSI is there in the middle of the track list here. Really interesting, has something of a kind of like psyop, darker feel to it. Love the artwork here. For sure, maybe this is going to be a thumbnail as well. All the information about when it's recorded. The artwork of the CD well matches the cover, of course. That's a smaller tree on here. Not much given in terms of what we can expect musically, so it might be a little bit beyond the jazz realm, but as the AUT Records label is expanding always and like introducing different flavors and different tastes and shapes of improvised music, this could be a new path they are exploring. And the next one looks very kind of retro futuristic, which is well, let's have a look here. Press sheet first. The cover is way more colorful than this black and white print suggests, so you're going to see this in a minute. And this is the bassism trio, Dreams Must Explain Themselves. Also a trio with additional vocalists, or one additional vocalist on one track, on the title track, Dreams Must Explain Themselves. 6-track album, 32 minutes and 15 seconds, to be released on July 8th. So this is next week. Probably I'm gonna review this before release. I'm not too sure because I got things coming up this week. And we got Enrico De Fabritis on baritone sax, alto sax and kalimba. Alberto Popola on bass clarinet and electric bass. Ferdinando Farao on drums and vocals. And Naima Farao, probably his wife, daughter, I don't know, on vocals for one track, Dreams Must Explain Themselves. This project comes from a strong affinity and from the desire to explore the structural and timbral possibilities of unconventional lineup with no traditional harmonic instruments. Well, I would say that bass clarinet and baritone sax are, at least to me with my background in electronic music, instruments that are well, harmonic, but I guess they are referring to like classic strings or guitar, whatever, or flutes, and not like low frequency adjacent instruments when they talk about harmonics. They present a dense, physical and constantly shifting sound in which the interaction between low registers becomes a central element of the musical construction. Super interesting to me, as you know, my DJ name and the name under I do everything else is baze.djunkiii, which also has its roots in one part in graffiti culture, but also in my love for bass, which evolved very early when I discovered electronic music. So the low end and the addiction to the low end is basically what brought my DJ name together. So I also involve a vision root in the Afro-American tradition, because De Fabritis and Popola are also playing together in the horn section of a band that is called Roots Magic. And Ferdinando Farao, which is a drummer and director of the Archipel Orchestra. This is reminds me a little bit of archipelago, but there is something different in that word, so I don't know exactly how to put this in a drawer for sure. And this orchestra approaches and combines formal awareness and expressive freedom. Super interesting. Low-end focusing music is always a thing for me. Love the artwork, absolutely love the artwork. This is like retro futurism, old school sci-fi before film at its best, I'd say. Like, it looks like this. This is gonna make a super classy photo on Instagram. My hands are shaking a little bit. Probably that's the hangover as well. And we got track titles like the album's title, Dreams Must Explain Themselves, Cache Valley Part 1, Hampstead Heath, which is like London, I guess, or NYC, probably London. Foggy, Cache Valley Part 2, and Shake, 32 minutes, bass focused, improvisational music, all up for that, all in for that. And the next one also embraces a kind of like sci-fi, retro-futuristic space universe, all that kind of stuff artwork, which is the Requiem for Democracy by Flavio Zanutini. Also with this one, the original cover looks way greater than this than the print. 27 minutes, so it's more like a mini album kind of, 7 tracks as well, released on June 3rd, with Flavio Zanutini on trumpet, gong and modular synth. So that's one thing that interests me always, because the sounds you get out of a modular synthesizer are always unique and not replicable maybe, so you cannot like do them, you cannot like repeat them and do the whole session again without changing the sound, because modular synths are probably also very sensitive to temperature and to surrounding things, so it's not possible to do the same thing twice basically. And we have a combination of modular synths and clarinet, French horn, drums and a text composition, which is done by Justina Cervelli. Oh, interesting concept, a secular funeral mass written by Flavio Zanuti. So the suit takes shapes as a rite of passage for contemporary democracy, pointing toward the possibility of new forms better suited to the present. So this is interesting, because if democracy decays, what is likely to follow up is probably not the best thing, and it will be not be like baseline democracy where everyone has to participate in decision-making process, but it will more like autocracy maybe, or like even worse, so with like one strong leader who basically enforces his decisions on everyone who ranks below him, so, or her. So I'm not too sure if like the fragmentation or the crumbling away of democracy is really a good thing, and if there is better things to come afterwards, and because the human race is human and not because of anything else. They bring together trumpet, clarinet and horn, expanded by electronics of modular synthesizer, as I said. 2 of the musicians involved have a classical background, and which mingles with the improvisational and electronic practice employed by Zanuti. The music unfolds through a shifting dialogue between acoustic instruments and electronics, moving between ritual invocations, fragmented themes, rhythmic tensions and suspended textures. Could be very interesting. This one is the cover artwork, which I also love. Takes me back to the 1700s maybe, probably 1800s, in terms of how the universe was understood back then. Even though this could be the rings of Saturn or Jupiter. Which one has rings? Jupiter has rings. So, yeah, has some kind of ancient, old schoolish, but still like scientific at the time vibe. Looks like this. And as a conceptual release, this is very interesting as well. We have an interesting inlay here, which is in Italian. So I cannot read a thing, but looks great. And this is like a comet's path throughout the solar system. I guess the Italian text explains a little bit about what they thought when putting this album together. And the titles are interesting as well. Here's the track list once again, because I recognize some things which are like sacral. We got like Kyrie eleison, Dies Irae, which I cannot translate, but I recognize as a somewhat related to God, or Lacrimosa and Lux Eterna is the eternal light, of course. Hostias are those small cookies you get at the church, which are not really cookies, but the word escapes me right now. So a requiem and a rite of passage for democracy, interesting. I'm gonna review all of those on my website nightstyles.de, which is still on the rise, working its way up in terms of views and stuff, and I'm very curious when we're gonna pass 1.2 million views in like 12 months. Could be very soon, I reckon, and for now I'm gonna go into editing mode, and then I'm gonna go work at my Discogs thing as well, which once again is down in the description box, in the doobly-doos, like everything else related to me, like links, social media, interviews, whatever. Baze.junkiii out, see you in the next one.